Hey, what's going on, man? So in this video, I'm going to show you how I lost 40 pounds without losing muscle. So you can see here, I was 197 pounds, around the 200 range, and I cut down to 160. So I was around the 158 to 160 range. You can definitely see the difference. Muscle mass was kept on, and the fat was just cut. So I lost 40 pounds without losing muscle. In fact, I looked bigger and leaner after the cut. No crash diets, no endless cardio, no muscle loss, just smart nutrition, structured training, and a science-backed system. And today I'm going to break down exactly how I did it, step by step. So if you're tired of cutting and ending up skinny fat, this one is definitely for you. I used to think weight loss meant hours of cardio and low-calorie diets, but every time I tried, I either lost muscle or I gained it all back. It wasn't until I learned how to apply the same principles we use in evidence-based fitness and sports nutrition that things finally clicked. So you can see here, day 1 to day 120, 4-month transformation, pretty much kept on muscle mass and just shredded down the fat. So this video is going to give you the full blueprint that you can use for your life. Section 1, calorie deficit done right. So let's start with the basics. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat, but there's a difference between losing fat and losing weight. So you want to think fat loss, not weight loss. A lot of you guys slash your calories way too low and you lose size, strength, energy, and muscle in the process. I created a moderate deficit, about 300 to 500 calories under my maintenance, and this gave me steady fat loss while preserving my muscle mass. If you guys want to figure this out, you have to go onto a website called TDEE calculator. So you want to calculate your maintenance calories. It's going to give you all these different questions and you fill it out. You'll find your maintenance and then you're going to subtract 300 to 500 calories from that while tracking everything for about 2 weeks, see how it goes, and then just adjusting it. So if maybe you hit a plateau and you're not losing weight that week, maybe lower the calories a bit more. But you want to adjust it based on real results. So that's why you're tracking your progress, taking photos, and not just basing it off the scale. Section 2 is high protein every day. This one's super important. This part is a non-negotiable. I ate at least 200 grams of protein per day every single day. That's around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, which research shows is optimal during a fat loss phase to preserve lean muscle tissue, right? And then as you can see here on the right, here are some of the meals that I ate: my breakfast, lunch, dinner. Big thing with protein, it's going to help you retain your muscle. It's going to keep you full throughout the day, and it just boosts your metabolism slightly, which just means that you're cutting more fat. I keep my meals super simple just because I was always on the go, go, go. So whatever was super easy for me and got the job done, that's what I was doing. So breakfast looked maybe like eggs, oats, maybe a protein shake. Lunch and dinner was always either lean beef or chicken with some rice and vegetables or potatoes. And then snacks were things like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, whey protein powder, things like that. But the big thing here is consistency. It's not about perfection. So just doing it, of course you can have the odd little cheat meal as well, but just trying to stay consistent with that 80%, eating whole foods, 20%, kind of eating whatever you'd like. Section number 3 is training for muscle retention. So if you want to keep muscle while cutting fat, you have to train like you're trying to build muscle. This means heavy progressive resistance training, not just high reps and body weight circuits. So as you can see here in this graph, by basing it off performance and the time weeks over time, injury and overtraining, just doing crazy high reps, actually made you more tired and drained out, where progressive overloading, doing lower reps with actual high intensity, built more muscle over time. For myself, I stuck to a push-pull leg split. I trained about 5 times per week, and I focused on the compound lifts, tracking my lifts, recovery between sets, hitting the same weights or more even in a deficit. So as you can see here, it breaks it down, push-pull legs, and it gives you some exercises that you can implement. And lifting heavy sends a signal to your body that this muscle is important. So you got to make sure you're putting in the reps, making sure that it's high weight, and then over time, putting more weight, getting stronger. Do not stop training just because you're eating less as well. Section 4 is 10K steps a day, which means NEAT. I'll go over that in a second here. Here's a huge game changer. So I walked 10,000 steps every single day, not because it burns a ton of calories, but because it adds up. So this is called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's all the calories you burn just living. So me being able to get the 10,000 steps per day, it helped me in my weight loss. It improves my heart health, reduces chronic disease, reduces stroke in women as well and men as well. It decreases diabetes, and it just lowers your blood pressure, increases lung capacity, improves mood, improves varicose veins. It boosts your immunity, prevents disability in old age, and speeds up digestion. So there's a lot of things that getting 10,000 steps a day can help you with, not just fat loss. Like, I didn't want to rely on hours of cardio, so instead I built movements into my day. So I did either maybe a morning walk, post-meal walk, just standing more, sitting less. So this could be maybe if I'm watching TV, I'm standing. Maybe I'm, just doing my daily activities, just more in a way that my body could burn those calories. So 10K steps a day kept my daily calorie burn high without wrecking my recovery. Section 5, sleep, stress, and recovery. Sleep might be the most underrated part of fat loss. I made it a rule for myself, though, to get 7 to 9 hours per night, no exception. Why? Because when you're sleep deprived, cortisol goes up, hunger hormones spike, recovery tanks, as well as you'll lose more muscle than actual fat. So as you can see here in this little graph, fat loss due to nightly sleep pattern. As you can see on the left side, it shows fat loss of a 14-day trial in kilograms, comparing it to 8.5 hours a night and 5.5 hours per night. As you can see, the person with 8.5 hours of sleep every night lost 1.4 kgs, which is around 3 pounds, where the person only sleeping 5.5 hours lost 0.6 of a kilogram, which is about 1.3 pounds. And you can see it is over double the person getting more sleep. I set a consistent bedtime. I definitely limited my screen time before bed, and I used magnesium plus a wind down routine. This could just mean maybe lying in bed and reading a book. This could maybe be writing down some thoughts in my journal for what I did that day, things like that. And at the end of the day, better sleep is better recovery, which just means more muscle retention and faster fat loss. Section 6, mindset and strategy. This is a huge one because fat loss isn't just physical, it's psychological. There were days I didn't feel like training, days I wanted to eat everything that I saw, days that the scale didn't move. But the big thing is I didn't quit. I didn't let that put me down because I had a plan. I tracked trends, not just daily fluctuations. I stay consistent 90% of the time, not 100%. And I reminded myself that every choice compounds. Me saying I stay consistent 90% of the time, I enjoy my life as well. I went out maybe for some food with my friends. Maybe I went out for some drinks with my friends. Maybe I went out with some family and we got some dinner, like whatever that, making sure that you're doing it at least 80 to 90% consistently. I wasn't just chasing a number, I was chasing a standard. That mindset shift is how you go from temporary results to lasting transformation. Big thing here is don't just always look at the downs. Over time, as long as you stay consistent, you will get the results you're looking for. Here's the full game plan. And if you implement this today, you will lose fat and build muscle, no questions asked. First, you want to create a moderate calorie deficit, like I mentioned before, going on your TDEE calculator, figuring out your maintenance, and then 300 to 500 calorie deficit from there. You're going to want to make sure as well with your calories, you're hitting your protein goal. So you're going to hit at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Big tip here is I would stick to more whole foods. Think of lean meats, eggs, things like that, Greek yogurt. And you want to lift heavy and with purpose at the end of the day, right? Because if you're in a deficit losing fat, you want to make sure that you're building muscle as well. And then you want to make sure you walk 10,000 steps a day. That's a non-negotiable every day. Just always be moving. And you want to prioritize sleep and stress management as well. Big thing is sleep. If you have energy, you're less stressed throughout the day as well. And then track your progress and stay consistent. This is probably the most important one. This is probably why in the past you've maybe fallen off and been unmotivated and lost motivation to keep going. So track your progress, and over time, just don't look at the negatives so much. Just over time, keep staying consistent, and especially tracking your progress with photos and weight tracking. You'll realize that that end goal is coming a lot quicker than you think, and giving up isn't the answer. That's how I lost 40 pounds without losing muscle. I didn't follow trends. I followed the data, and now I help others do the same. This is one of my clients, Cole. At first, he came to me at 168 pounds, and we cut him down to 145 pounds. You can see we cut down a lot of fat and kept on his muscle size. Crazy transformation from this guy. Here's another one of my clients, Chad. He went from 215 pounds to 182 pounds. He didn't really have that much muscle when he came to me, so we definitely cut down the fat was the first focus. As well, we did build some muscle as well. You can see more definition in the shoulder and the chest as well. And to wrap it up, if this video helped you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to take your fitness to the next level, I also do online fitness coaching, is how I got some of these transformations that I just showed you. If you want more details about that, I want you to DM me on Instagram, YouTube, and I'll see if I can help you out and get you to the goals that you have.